Hello guys and girls, Visceral3Dolph here, and welcome to another reading video. Now today, or in this video, we're going to read S1 Original Story Part 2. Now, this one, as far as I can remember, I don't have an official name on it. Let's see, I think I named Ladder Works. No, I did not. I want to say once again that this is not for kids. If you're under 10, ask a parent or guardian to watch with you or watch before you. If you're under 5, definitely don't watch this. Just wait for it. Okay, so without warning out of the way, I will also warn that this can include quite violent scenes. So if you're sensitive, don't watch either. But without out of the way, oh my goodness, I think I'm getting stuff in my eyes. Not good start. Professor T.A. walked down the sterile corridor. The visitor he had gotten the day before, was on his mind, and the marks under his eyes showed that he had not slept for a long while. He had gotten worried about if the visitors might be planning to shut down the lab. They don't see the full view, he tried to tell himself, figuring that saying it out loud might lower the voice inside his head, the one telling him that the tests he did was wrong. It's all for science, he said as he got to a window to the chamber that the specimen had been made in. Now it only had one tank left, the last one that they had alive. But he was pretty sure that it would be dead before the end of the week. The specimen was not big, and the meters next to the window had a small sight showing that it was alive. But he could not mind that now. He had tests to carry out. He continued to the third sector of the lab, and there it was, the room with Specimen 1. After success with the tests, it was no longer just experiment Z452X. It was a subject, and thus S, and it was in fact the first one that had made it. Thus, the number 1. This made it S1. As TA looked in, he saw the specimen in a corner, inside of some bars to make sure it did not go loose in the chamber. If that happened, it might give some problems, because even the army and government might suspect then. He walked up to a control panel and pressed a button, taking down the bars. The creature didn't move out to the corner. It must certainly have intelligence, he thought, as he pressed another button and a maze started to come up from the floor. Now we will see how intelligent it is. As he pressed yet another button, the floor started to shift up, and thus giving it an unsettling area to stay on. This was he could get, so he could get the subject to go into the base without any harm. As the specimen got up and the entrance and stumbled in on all four, in a manner similar to the one of the specimen got of a gorilla, Professor T.A. pressed another button and to higher his point of view. This way he was able to see the maze all sides. Then he looked on as the specimen made its way through the maze. It only took it 5 minutes and 30 seconds to make it to the other side. Tia raised an eyebrow as he wrote in a notebook. It was just half a minute under the time a human on average took to make it through the same maze. He then got to the viewing platform down again and deactivated the maze. Sir? T.A. got a slight shock as the female voice spoke from behind him. Is it you, Veronica? He said in a calm, collected voice. Yes, sir. I just got here, said the voice. T.A. turned around and looked at the woman. She was about 25, with long red hair and bright blue eyes. She was just a slight bit shorter than him, about 3 centimeters maybe. But she had something that he found attracting. He was not able to put his finger on what it was. It was something, though, that his mind could not put in a good perspective, though. No matter how hard he tried. It sure was strange, he thought, as he told her that he that he was working on the testing. How come you're not resting, sir? You can't honestly tell me that you aren't tired. She asked him more in more of a personal than professional manner. No, Veronica, I'm okay. I'm just worried about the inspection, he replied, looking into chamber, not to be forced to look to Veronica's eyes. He knew that she worried about him on a personal level, but if it but it would be way too unprofessional to let her see that he had the same feeling to her. He could not bear such a feeling. It would likely cause the end of his work. He could not let that happen. So he gave Veronica the notes and told her to write for him, and she did. After a while, some more of the who worked at the facility came, and they started to work. The group kept on with many different tests based on the physical power of specimen 1. But they were not just testing the body of the specimen. Although that was what they were thinking in the head, it had more than that. Why do they do this to me? It thought. Do they do this to everyone? It kept asking things for itself as the syringe came in attached to a mechanical arm with many joints to grant movement. They don't look to do it to each other up there. It looked up as the syringes got put into its chin. Do they stick sharp things into people to show something? It asked as the liquid inside the syringe started to get in the blood veins. Do they do it because they hate me? Its arm started to jerk as a reaction to the drug. It hurts, it thought, and its face got an expression of pain. It hurts too much. It thought, and the monitors on the panel's viewpoint showed the brain activity was going upwards. When will it end? Thought the specimen. But just then, the sound that he knew so well by now came. The sound of the bell ringing 8 p.m. The day was over. The big clock over the screen showed 8:00. The scientist 20:00. The scientists packed together and left, shutting down the lights. Now the specimen was alone with his thoughts. Why do they leave me alone here? It asked. It's cold and dark, it thought, and tried to understand why they didn't appear to like him. Is it because of my claws? It thought, looking down at the short white claws and its hand turned to. Or is it maybe of my face? It thought, feeling over its skinny skull-like head, with small eyes and short jagged teeth. Or is it the way I move? She thought as it looked down at its leg and chest. The bones could be seen under the skin. Or is it all of me? It thought as it put its head into the chest and did what it would have been crying, if it had been able to. Will I always be alone? A long beeping noise was heard somewhere down the hall. Why does no one save me? The room faded away into blackness. Will it always be like this? Thank you all for listening. I want to right now say that S1 is not supposed to have any specific gender. Now, I will say also that in English writing, I find it really difficult to write a character without a gender, though it's something I really want to do because the gender shouldn't matter to S1. Seeing S1 is all about the mind. So if any of you know any other word than them, they, and that stuff to describe someone without defining their gender, please tell me. um, because it's a real pain, and now that I'm writing a continuing on story, it will be even more so. But with that out of the way, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you got any scares once again, I am horribly sorry. If you want to read more of my stories, check the description below for my story collection on Google+. And without further ado, I'm Visitor Elf. I hope you enjoyed. I will keep recording more stories right now. But until next time, subscribe for Plus and Majestic, like the video if you enjoyed it, so stay happy, and until next time, see ya!